Welcome to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joe Hayes, and I'm here with our head football coach, Keith Goss. Coach, welcome back to Show 4.
That's right, happy to be here.
Yeah. Hey, before we get going, we, as you can tell, we're on a new location now, and we try to bounce it around each week to get our sponsors a little recognition. And Coach Jay's IGA, Mr. Stephen Williams, he's now one of the owners of Jay's IGA. Huge supporters to our program. They donated us a pallet of water.
That's right.
He has probably given us a semi-truckload over the years of water. And anything that we ever ask, he's one of those businesses that I can always go to and say, hey, I need help. And he just says, tell me what, where, when, or how much I need to do. And there's never any question, no hesitation. And so we definitely want to thank them and all their support. And you've got to know Stephen since you've been here as well. And even though you and I both do our grocery shopping here.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and he really does help the program and our community. So it's great to have that kind of support here.
Absolutely. So Raider Nation, you get a chance, come by Jay's IGA, do your shopping, shop local, support these guys because they support us with everything that they have. And they've made a few changes here. They're continuing to make strides and changes inside the facility, and just good staff, good people. It's one of those places, if I come to, I enjoy. If I can't find something, I can find one of their employees, and man, they'd walk with me the whole time if I asked them to, and I just love that. I love that level of service.
Right, and it's even our kids. One of our players is back there.
That's right.
And does a great job working with him in the schedule, so he's got an opportunity to work here. It's tough on kids to have a job and play high school athletics, and I just appreciate them working with some of our young people.
Absolutely. And again, Raider Nation, get a chance, come by Jay's IGA and tell them how much you appreciate them supporting us. We don't want to forget our title sponsors, our big platinum sponsors. We want to thank Bacon County Hospital and Health System, Industrial Forge, Blueberry Plantation Inn and Country Club, and Parker Food Mart. Those guys are a huge, vital part to our program. Any chance you get, Raider Nation, get out and let those guys know how much you appreciate their support. I want to run through our list of gold sponsors real quick as well. We want to thank Alma Telephone Company, Titan Modular, Daniel and Cassie Moore, Larry Waters Properties, Pineland Bank, State Farm, F&B South, Andy Cothran Auto Sales, Clean Air and Electric, Burt CPAs, Southside Church of God, and Lassiter Tractor Company. Coach, I guess we might as well go ahead and dive into this thing and get going. We faced a pretty difficult Telfair opponent. Watching those guys on film, I don't know that I didn't underestimate them a little bit. The product that they brought to the Big Red Monster and what I watched on film, I guess I saw some of it, but it's hard to relate until you see it in person. And they came and they were very physical. I mean, they're
physical. Their program. They've been in the weight room, and I know I keep saying that time and time again. But they were a lot bigger than us, and it showed.
Yep.
Physicality-wise, there's times where we're in the right spots. We're gap sound, and we have a tackle broken. So that's just, things we got to keep developing. We're going to keep moving guys around and trying to find the best fit for them. But it's one of those things we got to get bigger and stronger, and that's going to be one of the things that's key to us getting better. We're going to max out again this coming week because we're going into our open week, and we're going to see how much we've developed from the end of summer till now. And are we continuing to grow and get stronger, and what else do we have to do on that end to continue to get stronger as the season goes along?
Gotcha. Well, Coach, let's break it down, the defensive side of the ball a little bit and the offensive side of the ball. Let's start with defense. One thing that I noticed was there was quite a few players in new positions Friday night. So is this something that you're just trying to get reps, or something that you're seeing on film, you're trying to put somebody else there to see?
Different guys are winning spots. It's a battle every week, and they got an opportunity to take a spot and earn it during the course of the week. And if you earn it during the course of the week, then you get an opportunity to play there. There is no, he earned the spot, coming out of summer camp, so he's the guy all year. There's competition. We want competition at every position. And I think that's how you improve. And so obviously we're still trying to improve. And so that's what we're doing.
Well, Coach, I know the week prior we kind of talked about facing Berry and that we had some tackling issues and we were struggling in that department. So we got a new tackling sled, something to work on that fundamentally. We didn't start practicing with that till Wednesday.
Right.
So we had Wednesday.
It wasn't going to be a magic fix.
No.
But
So we started with that Wednesday,
Right.
and then Thursday's just really, is it more or less a walkthrough?
Thursday is more walkthrough, more mental part of it. We go pretty hard at it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have a practice Thursday morning that's not padded. And then if we have a JV game that Thursday night, our guys are available to be at that walkthrough and then be at the JV game that night. And then Friday we're playing. So we're really trying to give them that day to physically heal up from some of the banging that we do earlier in the week. And the bottom line is, when it comes to that, we just have to get more physical. And the only way you're going to do that is being physical in practice. And so, we're trying to keep our guys healthy, but we're going to have to play a physical brand of football. People are going to run at us until we prove that we can stop it.
Right. Well, do you feel that your defense, for the most part, played 4 quarters Friday? How do you think the effort was? Do you think is that something that we can improve on?
Well, I think we started off slow in the first half. I think I really don't think it was our best half of football in that first half. There's some things that obviously we addressed, and the guys got after it a little more after halftime, and we were able to score some points and move the ball a little better. But we came out slow. It was not our by any means close to the way we played the week before. And sometimes when you're working with a young team, and we are young, you're going to have those up and downs. And the week before at Berrien, I think we played a pretty good game for the most part. And this week we had a little bit of a letdown, and that's the reality of it. When working with high school kids, we just got to keep training them to be more consistent and work to get where we want to get.
And is that, all of us watch college football and professional football, and
it happens at every level.
It does, at every level. So you kind of go through your steps, your routines to kind of get you up to a point. Like you don't want to get, I have seen previous Bacon County teams, they got too hyped, and then come game time, we've already kind of overshot ourselves. And then I've seen times that we've come in under, and it felt like Friday that they were just, I don't know sometimes if it's an opponent that we think that we can come in and that we're going to do okay against, and we kind of just stay back. But what are some things in that routine that you can think that you can do to keep them at that magic level, maybe to keep that intensity when it comes game time? That
that's one of those things that you follow that routine, you give them that structure, and you teach them how to build up to the game. Obviously, I don't feel like like I said, we didn't play our best half of football in the first half. But I think a lot of it is just understanding how to carry yourself and how to carry yourself pre-game and where your focus should be. Your focus shouldn't be on whatever's going on that weekend.
Right.
Your focus should be on game that night. And sometimes, kids lose focus of things. So, and that's not to say, we're talking about lack of focus and things we didn't do. Telfair's a very good team.
they are.
Their defensive front, which I mentioned, more than once over the course of the week, was very impressive.
Yeah.
Number 8 for them is is a tremendous athlete. I walked by him and he dwarfed me, and I'm not a small guy.
Yeah.
So they had several offensive linemen that were bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so there's, they're a good team.
Absolutely. And they'll do good, and, I think that they'll fit somewhere in that 1 to 4 slot
Right.
in their region. And
that's not to say, like, I don't want to take anything away from them. But I've said before, we didn't play great football in the first half. And but that doesn't take away from the fact that they're a quality team.
yeah, absolutely. Well, let's flip it. Being you talked about their defensive front, early on, that's something that they came out, they hit us right square in the mouth on our offensive side of the ball. And, I know we struggled there for the first half.
We did, definitely.
Kind of get some things going. I know our quarterback struggled, our backs, our offensive line struggled, our receivers struggled. They were on us at every position.
We never really clicked in the first half Friday night offensively. I know there were some struggles communication-wise, and we went to a band to try to limit that. And I know we had issues with that on 2 or 3 plays. We had installed a couple things that we thought would be better against them because they're D-line, and I just don't feel like we executed those very well. And one of the things was because of how aggressive their line is, we tried to create more double teams at the point of attack. Even with that being said, we didn't get great movement on our double teams. They were a penetrating front and trying to get up the field, and that's why I was worried about pulling multiple guys. And the times we pulled multiple guys, we did not have success. They did a great job of disrupting our buck sweep. We went to more of a zone scheme, and they were bigger and stronger than us, and we weren't able to get push on our tracks.
Yep.
So obviously, we struggled in the run game. Even when we got out and we set up a screen, we didn't make the correct read to throw it out there. I know that happened once or twice. Also, when we threw a screen one time, we tackled ourselves in open space and run to the back of one of our linemen. So, no, there was several issues in the first half that need to be cleaned up and will be addressed when we watch film. Like I said, it was just a poor half of football, and against a good team, what happened to us is what's going to happen to you.
Well, Coach, one thing that I caught myself doing, and I didn't realize it until after the game was over, was, last week against Berrien, our quarterback showed a lot of positive things.
Right.
And I think maybe I put my expectation level pretty high of thinking where it would be from week to week, but I still have to remind myself that this was the second game that he's ever started at quarterback. It's not like this is a tenured player that has been playing quarterback since flag football. We've got to give these kids time to develop.
And he's still a high school kid.
And he's still a high school kid.
But it's one of those things that, he's in his 3rd week of playing quarterback, and there's things that he got away with athletically the week before that he didn't get away with this week against a faster Telfair team. I still think he's going to do a great job for us this year. Obviously, there's some more things that we have to polish with him and get to where we want. But there's no doubt he's going to be a good football player.
Yes.
At quarterback. And he's a team guy. He's doing everything he can for this team right now.
And that's what we want to hear, Coach. And I think that's what Raider Nation wants to hear, that he's out there grinding hard every day. And
there's no doubt. I mean, to be essentially thrown in that situation and say, hey, it's your time to lead. I know we weren't planning on putting you there, but here it is.
Well, there's things that we have to commend him for, because there's a lot of jobs, I think, was it the Discovery Channel where you had like dirty jobs?
Right.
The guy that, would have to go clean out a septic tank or do whatever. And there's just sometimes you have to step up and take a position that you may not necessarily want. There's sometimes that it may be a desirable position, but the stress and the workload, you look at, well, he makes all this money, but when you realize the amount of stress that comes with it, you know, in the job and the workforce, and well, maybe I want to stay right here where I'm at. And
Yeah.
for him to accept the challenge, you know, because there's a lot of pressure at that quarterback
There's a lot
position.
of pressure. There's a lot of things that go off of your play and your read, and there's a lot of responsibility. And like I said, it's not like he's had, you know, years and years of training there. He hasn't,
Yeah.
but he's stepped up. He's been a leader. He's getting better, you know, day by day. He had a rough game in the first half. You know, I can think back to games I had in high school and college where I had a rough half of football.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not always going to be perfect. We're going to strive to get better week by week, and all the players are. And we're just going to keep working. That's all we can do.
Good deal. Well, Coach, we're going to take a real quick break and get our sponsors a little recognition, and Raider Nation will be right back with you shortly after this break. Welcome back to the Red Raider Coaches Show. Coach Goss, the first half, we talked a lot about Telfair County, and you know, we don't want to take anything away from them guys. We wish them well in their season. They're a non-region opponent, so we can do that. Actually, you know, they're going to help us to get better. You know, what we saw on film, you know, we can make adjustments, we can make corrections, and that's things we want to have fixed before our next football game. And you know, with that said, business starts now.
Well, we started up region play, you know, not this Friday night, but the following Friday night. So this is our open week, and it gives us time to prepare and really heal up some guys, that some of them that we got tweaked Friday night, and you know, hopefully, you know, hitting region play on all cylinders.
Well, Coach, what have you seen? You know, we know we're going to face Jeff Davis. We got to go over there this year and face them there. You know, we put a tough boss to them this last season. So I know we say that every year. We've beaten them several years in a row here, but you know, I don't think there was many people in the state that was giving us a chance this last season, and we kind of took something from them, and I know they've got a bone to pick with us. And you know, what is our game plan? You know, what is your game plan and the coaching staff's game plan this week for our off week, and then the following week leading up to the game?
Well, we'll go in. We'll practice the guys on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, and we'll go in the afternoon all week. Really just kind of give them a little extra day to rest on Monday. Like I said, we have some you know, little injuries and some tweaks that we're trying to get healthy. But we'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If there's anybody to scout, and I think most people in our region have off Friday night, but if there's anybody to scout, we'll go scout them on Friday night. And then we'll be back into a regular work week the following week.
I got you. What can we expect from Jeff Davis? You know, I know what we saw last year. They got the same coaching staff. They're going to kind of pound it. They're going to run the ball. They don't do a ton of passing. They do a little bit here and there, but for the most part, they're going to run the ball.
They're going to be wing T based, and they're going to pound the football. And they're going to try to make you like it. They're going to control the clock. That's their MO. They're physically, you know, tough. They want to come straight at you. and we're going to have to answer the call.
I hear you. Well, again, in that preparation for this coming week, now that it is business, is there any difference from a coaching standpoint and an expectation level, and maybe from a player standpoint? It should be 100%, but
we
are human too.
Well, it's one of those things. My coaches are coaching the kids hard. We're going to continue to coach the kids hard. Players, they know who's in the region and is not in the region, and that shouldn't change the way they prepare. But I'm sure, in their mind, they understand that now this is for spots in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Coach, I know you're still learning a lot of the Bacon County traditions, but I would say Jeff Davis, is right up there with Pierce County as far as just that bitter rivalry. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just kind of go speechless because I want to be politically correct here, but there is a lot of animosity between, our neighbors to the north and Bacon County.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they've picked us for homecoming. They've picked us for some type of ceremony to welcome back their old players. And I think another ceremony for their state championship rings in baseball. And if I'm not mistaken, they got last year's score blown up on a picture in their weight room of Bacon County beating them. I would say that there's some animosity.
Yeah, they want to beat Bacon without a doubt, and they're going to come at us 100% with everything they got. And I just hope that we can give it back and that we can get in their heads. And again, our boys understand the seriousness of it and those bragging rights. I mean, I was thinking about it today. We've got, I think, a softball player that dates somebody from Jeff Davis, and we got other kids, and I've got friends in Jeff Davis. I got a coworker that works at Jeff Davis, and I definitely don't want to have to go back to work and say, well, y'all got us this year. We're competitive, and I know your staff is doing everything that they can, to prepare our boys.
That's right, and we're going to continue to do that. Obviously there's been some growing pains through the first several games, and I knew there would be this year. But it's not going to change us from doing the right thing to build this program, these young men. There's a certain way to do things, and when we have everybody pulling in the right direction, we'll start having more success. There's a lot of things we're fixing. I'm not going to necessarily talk about all of them on here.
Yeah.
But there's things we're correcting that have to be fixed. When they're fixed, we'll start seeing more gains on the field, off the field, and throughout the entire program.
Well, Coach, and that's all we can ask for. And we know that, this foundation that you've set, like I said, Rome wasn't built overnight. So we know it's going to be a gradual process. And Coach, I commend you for what you're doing, for what the staff's doing, from what I've seen on the sidelines. And I know it's hard for Raider Nation, you guys, to completely hear everything, but, that's, I guess, one perk that I get to have is standing down there on the sidelines and hearing a lot of the coaching that is going on. And there's some good coaching going on. I mean, quality coaching. And I appreciate the time and the effort that you're putting in for our kids. I appreciate the time and effort that you're putting in for our program. And this goes even after school. And this kind of something I want to touch on that I don't think gets said enough. Being a coach, a lot of times players won't have somebody to go to. Their mom and dad may be struggling at home, or their mom and dads may be gone, and they're living by themselves. And not mentioning no names, not mentioning anything, but something that warms my heart is, we had a kid struggling, and to see one of your coaches step in and get food for that player to take home with him, and some other necessities for that player to have, Coach, it means the world to me.
Yeah, there are some tough situations out
Yes.
there. There is, and we're gonna continue to try to make things better at every place we can. And if a kid's committing and being part of our program and he needs a little help from us, we're gonna try to figure out a way to help. We don't always have all the answers. We ask them to be good young men, be accountable to the program, and work hard. And, but if they're doing all those things and then somewhere else in their life they're struggling, well, I mean, it's our job to try to help them.
Absolutely, and it warms my heart, being a Red Raider, to know that we've got a staff that is going above and beyond, and I'm talking about reaching in their back pocket and pulling out their wallet and making a contribution to help a child. That means a lot to me. I don't know what more you could ask for. Like I said, wins means a lot, but I think winning a lot of times is these things, Coach. This is me stepping to the side, and again, I want to get your staff a little recognition there, and that player too, because we've struggled a little bit with some cultural issues, character issues, of doing the right things, of coming to practice. They're young men, they're 14, 15, 16 years old, so they may try to miss a practice or skip once. They got a girlfriend that they want to go on a date on, and they need to miss a practice, and they tell you they're sick, and you find out they went on a date with their girlfriend.
Right.
We know those things go on. We know what happens.
And when we find out, we run them, and that's
Yeah.
and that is what it is. And that's just being accountable to your team. If she likes you enough, she'll wait till practice is over.
That's right. And where it really makes me smile, Coach, is when I see a kid that is facing severe adversity, and he's got every reason in the world. He has no transportation to get to a game or to get to a practice. He doesn't have anybody keeping him accountable other than his teammates and his coaches, but yet he somehow finds a way to be at every single practice, to work hard, and do what he's supposed to do.
And that young man's going to be with us for several years to come. And that's what we want to build this around.
Yes.
And I know that's tough to see sometimes when there's some guys that athletically could help us that aren't with us. And I hated losing them. I did, but I'm of the mindset, if we want to change this program forever and make it something we're proud of year after year after year, it's going to take this process to take it down to where I have to take it down to build it up the right way. And hopefully we're back on the upswing. Hopefully everybody that's with us will continue to be with us. And but there's still guys that try to squirrel out of things that are going to be held accountable, and that's not going to change ever. Not as long as I'm the head coach.
Well, Coach, I commend you for holding that standard, and that's what it takes. It's what it takes if you work here. It's what it takes if you work anywhere. That's just being a young man and being accountable, and you can't miss work. You can't this. And this just traits that, we've got to get right and that are going to get right with you holding them to that, and it will continue to get better. Well, Coach, we about to run out of time here. Is there anything that you want to add?
No, I'm proud of the guys. It's tough what we're going through right now to build this program and build it the right way. But I'm proud of the young men that are dedicated, doing the right things every day. And I'm still happy and blessed to be here in Alma, Georgia. And I'm just excited to get things going the way we want to get them going. And we're going to do our best to go out there and beat Jeff Davis and go Red Raiders.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we thank you for your time. I thank your staff for their time and what they're doing. I thank the players for their efforts that they're putting forward. Raider Nation, we thank you. We got 2 weeks, so no excuse for you to tell me you got something planned. All right, you got enough time to get it changed. Raider Nation needs to show up in Hazelhurst, right?
Absolutely.
We need all the help we can get. So come over, support our boys, cheer as loud as you can, be as crazy as you can. Ring your bells, cowbells. I know my wife loves flinging that cowbell as loud as she can. I love it. I love every second of it. So, let's go over, let Jeff Davis know that, Raider Nation is still behind this. We still support it. And we going over there to win. There ain't no question about it. No question about it. We're going to win. So hope to see you Friday night, a week from now, 2 weeks from now. So we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you after the Jeff Davis game.